Right, bear with me with this next story because it is serious. It's been causing quite a stir. We all know Bill Gates was loitering around Downing Street like a bad smell before the budget. Of course, the Microsoft boss, the ex-Microsoft boss, who now has interest in agriculture and vaccines and so on and so on. No one's been able to say what he was doing in Downing Street. But what we do know is that he's been causing a right stink with a new potion he's been cooking up in the lab. Gates is leading a new $12 million investment in an Australian firm called Ruminate that aims to stop cows farting to save the planet. The claim, of course, is that methane from cows' backsides is causing global warming. Well, now the idea has come to the UK, and it's fair to say it's not going down very well. Arla Foods, the Danish-Swedish company that owns the UK's biggest dairy cooperative, is teaming up with the likes of Tesco, Aldi and Morrisons to feed its dairy cows with the gas-suppressing chemical mix through another company separate to Gates. That means milk, yoghurt and butter you buy in the supermarkets could have been made from cow's feed with this new additive in. It's called Bovaer. Check this.
I'm Jane.
I'm Adam.
And we run a family dairy farm with 420 cows.
We've been Arla members for the last 10 years and we've been in the innovation farm for the last 5.
The latest innovation we're looking at is Bovaer. Bovaer is a feed additive developed by Dutch company DSM that allows farmers to reduce enteric methane emissions from our dairy herds.
So 30 of Arla's farms in the UK will trial the use of Bovaer, which claims to reduce methane emissions from cow's gas by 27% on average. It's made by a rival firm of Bill Gates' company, DSM Firm-icke, which is a Dutch multinational. And if successful, it's hoped more UK farmers will start to use the feed additives in their own flock. So what's the problem? Well, there are concerns that Bovaer will make its way into cow's milk and then, of course, eventually into humans. It's made of silicon dioxide, propylene glycol and organic compound 3-nitrooxypropanol, known as 3-nop. So the Food Standards Agency last year found that 3-nop, quote, should be considered corrosive to the eyes, it's a skin irritant and potentially harmful by inhalation to humans handling it. In a joint statement from Morrisons, Aldi and Tesco, they said, "We have the ability to address some of the climate challenges facing our food system. It's this collective approach that is really going to make a difference. And being involved in using a feed additive is a great way of testing out where we can drive change at scale to bring down emissions." So look, this is all very strange. I don't know what these climate doomsters are up to. I don't know why they want cows to stop farting. And I don't know why they have to mess with a fairly simple product, milk, at the altar of climate catastrophe. Concerns over Bovaer's safety might also be a load of hot air, but I do take grievance with British consumers and indeed cows being used as guinea pigs in the latest game of Frankenstein Food.
Using the internet without a VPN is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. We want to help protect you. This video's sponsor, Private Internet Access, is the VPN to help keep you safe. Now you might be asking, what is a VPN? Well, a virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. This way, it shields your digital life from the eyes of those that are looking to exploit your private information. Whenever you connect to the internet on a public Wi-Fi network, such as at airports, coffee shops, friends' houses, or even in your own home, your data is at risk of being stolen. Hackers that are connected to the same Wi-Fi network have the ability to steal your personal data with ease. T-Mobile reached a settlement this year with the US Federal Communications Commission after they suffered data breaches in 2021, 22 and 23. In 2023 alone, over 37 million customers' data was exposed. And it's not just hackers to be concerned about. Information can be censored. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news content that you love. Private Internet Access is available for all platforms: Windows, macOS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one Private Internet Access subscription to protect an unlimited number of devices at the same time. Plus, we've got a huge GBNews discount. Click the link in this video's description, and you'll get 83% off PIA. That is under £2 a month, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. So head to piavpn.com/GBnews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Let's get the thoughts now of farmer Gareth Wynne-Jones, who's down the line with us. Gareth, good evening. Thank you for joining me so late. Of course, you've been tracking this story today and yesterday as it's been breaking online. On the surface, it does seem fairly comical and trivial. We've had a laugh about cows farting, but there is a lot of concern building about this, isn't there?
Oh, I think, it's... if anybody wants to listen to the consumer and customer, they want to listen now, because you can see how people feel about this. They are not happy at all. I don't think I've seen one positive comment towards it. This has been going on for years, They have been doing work on this. They've used natural elements like garlic and seaweed to try and bring, the methane, because it's not just out the back end. They do belch quite a lot as well, cows, so it comes out from the back and the front. So it's making sure that, if that's their idea, that's going to save the planet, is to stop cows farting and belching. It's just a bit crazy, because methane is in a natural cycle and it does break down. And we've got to look at the whole process of what, these cows do. They chomp on grass, which grows very well in this country. That grass regrows, sequences more carbon back in, and we're able to get the benefits of that, which is meat, milk, butter, yogurt, ice cream. Milk is in so much fantastic different products to eat. So I think maybe the advertisement side of things have had a hard couple of days, and they might have to readdress the situation and the invalidity of the whole system is quite natural. Why do we want to mess with it?
Yeah, it just seems the concern is that we're taking a very natural product, milk, and then mixing it with chemically induced additives. We don't know really the long-term safety effects of these additives. There's been lots of concerns about, in instant human interaction with it, if you inhale it, it's very, very toxic. Who knows whether it will get into the milk? People like Arla Food say that plenty of studies show that it won't get into the milk. But do you get the feeling that we're just interfering too much with our food these days?
Well, I think we're taking it one step too far, to be honest with you. And I think the consumer and the customer has put that on today when you're seeing petitions not to buy Arla, which have been a great company. There's a lot of fantastic companies out there that are doing great work, and yet we need innovation, we need new ideas. But I don't think this is one of the innovations and new ideas we need. Not in my opinion. I wouldn't be drinking that milk, unless I knew that had been tested rigorously for everybody. And there is nothing more natural than taking that milk, straight from that grass into that cow, and straight into your cornflakes, your milk with your tea or your
porridge.
Coffee, however, fresh, local, sustainable, environmentally friendly. I think they're pushing too much on this carbon footprint. And what are we? 1% of the whole ethos.
Less than, yeah.
I know they should be looking at India and China and pointing the finger at them instead of trying to, bring a few cows fat.
Well, they'll tell you, Gareth. They say, yeah, but we need to be world leaders, of course. In we need to lead by example. Gareth, just very quickly before I let you go, if you buy organic milk, does that exclude additives such as Bovaer being included in the milk?
I think they will have to say any company that's using. There's a lot of companies out there now, organic and non-organic, saying that they're not using this additive in the production of milk. So, transparency is very, very important for the consumer and customer. And, if the people are willing to buy it, that's up to them. But I think it's important that everybody knows what they're eating and what they're getting on their plates every single day.
OK, Gareth Wyn-Jones, thank you for your company. Really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Let's get the thoughts now of my panel. Joining me is, of course, Dame Andrea Jenkins of Reform UK, the senior political correspondent of the Daily Express, Christian Calgie, and political commentator Andy Williams. Guys, I know this seems like a bizarre story, but there is growing concern, especially online at the moment, that we just don't want our food supply meddled with like this. And it is indeed a trial. We're being trialled here in the UK with 30 farms. Andrea.
No, I just think the world's gone bonkers. You know, no wonder the likes of cancer rates are up. I mean, look, when they started putting aspartame in foods to replace sugar, in some countries it's banned. And I think it's just going too far. You can't beat natural foods. And it's like we're just living in this strange universe. It's like this is a globalist agenda of Gates and Starmer and people like this.
Globalist agenda?
Oh, it is. You know, they're all the globalists.
Let me ask you about
where's common sense?
Let me ask you, Andrew, about Bill Gates. So he's not connected to Bovir, but he's invested $12 million in this separate company which has inspired Bovir. It's basically the same product.
Yes.
Gates has been in and out of Downing Street a lot over the years. There's pictures of him with Penny Mordaunt, I think, something to do with the...
Well, didn't they write a book together as well?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. What's your experience with Bill Gates? Have you ever met him? Have you seen him in Downing Street? Why is he so frequently in Downing Street? He was there a couple of weeks before the budget.
No, I mean, look, he's got money, he's a powerful man, but look how he was sort of interfering where the vaccines are concerned. Look, my sister...
Andy's sighing.
No, you say that, but my sister had the vaccine. She died and had to be resuscitated, and she woke up paralysed from the neck down. She had a reaction. So I'm going to have a different viewpoint, I'm afraid.
Because of the vaccine?
The vaccine,
Which vaccine was it? AstraZeneca?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it was my sister. The COVID vaccine, yeah.
Wow.
And so they said she'd never walk again, and she's took 9 months to learn to walk again. And she's amazing. And so I've seen what that's done. So, you know, we've got... that farmer was so right. People need to know what's in their foods, what's in their vaccinations, and actually the impacts on the human body.
Andrew,
that is so important.
I'd never heard that story before. I don't know if you
I don't think I've never told it live.
I'm so sorry for you and your sister. And
she's amazing, my sister,
our best
as well.
wishes.
Thank you.
But that's kind of the point. I mean, there is so much concern now about people meddling with our drugs and our agriculture and our food because, OK, you mentioned COVID, so let's talk about that. We were told during COVID these vaccines were safe and effective. The argument is that they neither were safe nor effective. I know there are some studies saying they saved 17 million lives. Some people don't agree with that. We know for certain vaccines harmed people.
Yes.
And again, the argument is, for the sake of balance, there's vaccines that harm everybody, different vaccines. But there is a growing concern now, I think, a rising consciousness about what's going on. Andy?
Well, I'm really sorry to hear about your sister, and that is a genuinely very, very sad story. But I wondered why we were talking about this, I thought, on a really busy news day, why are we talking about this story? And I had a funny feeling we might end up talking about vaccines. And sure enough, here we are. You said there was a funny smell of Bill Gates being hanging around Downing Street. There's a funny smell to me of conspiracy theory, Ben, with you and in this studio right now. What a load of nonsense.
What's the conspiracy? He was in Downing Street.
You're saying, oh, what's Bill Gates doing hanging around Downing Street? Let's just leave that hanging in the air. Well, I don't know.
Well,
you don't know. Maybe it's because he's one of... No, listen to me.
He's invested in this other company who was selling this fiat.
Follow the money.
That's why it's linked.
Follow the money, Andy.
Point that out.
Well, but you said, what's Bill Gates doing hanging around Downing Street?
Well, they've still not answered. What was he doing in Downing Street?
Well, don't ask me, I don't work there.
He's the biggest farmland owner in the US. That budget absolutely destroyed farmers. What was he doing in Downing Street?
Bill Gates is one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time. He's one of the richest men in the world. Of course, he is in and out
Have you met him, Andy?
Of course I've not met Bill Gates. Why would I have done? You know, of course he's in and out of Downing Street because the UK government should be talking to serious entrepreneurs. And I'm afraid...
to Elon Musk, will he?
but it is conspiratorial language that you're using. And I'm afraid what you've done, Ben, is you've introduced a story so that you could talk about a different conspiracy theory that you have. And I'm afraid... I'm sorry, I'm going to call it out. It's a load of absolute nonsense.
I disagree with you there.
Sorry, it's absolute rubbish.
No, what Ben...
It is. And I just want to say, I'm on this channel...
this?
I am passionate about it because I'm on this channel a lot with very sensible people who say very sensible things, and this is not one of those
Andy,
stations.
sorry, you are sounding like a conspiratorial one. I think.
I'm sure.
No, I mean, it's clearly just pointing out that the simple thing is we need to watch what's in our food, what gets injected into us with vaccines, whatever it is. We need to know what it does to the human body.
Andy,
what is wrong with that, Andy?
I don't know how you can come to the conclusion that I'm sat with a tin-foil hat on my head because
Didn't say that.
Bill Gates has invested £10 million in a company that stops cows farting, and at the same time, a company has just started trialling the same product of a different brand in all our supermarkets in the UK. How's that conspiratorial?
What? Because
do you know what, Andy? Do you know what? It's people like you during COVID who are going around saying, we need to lock down, the kids need to stay at home, we all need to be jabbed before you can get out. I guarantee that was your position, was it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. And how wrong you were.
Well, let's see.
How wrong you were, weren't you? Do you think you were wrong during COVID?
No.
I think Boris was right when he initially said herd immunity, actually. Yeah.
Well, exactly, but it's a shame to...
But what did he instead?
Well, that's because it was all these scientists saying hundreds of thousands of people are going to die.
Who was the Prime Minister,
and because he nearly died himself.
Who was the Prime Minister?
Well, God, look at all the media. They was actually taking this stance. All the mainstream media was taking this stance, and the scientists was doom-mongering. And
the decision-maker did what?
Well, they took the advice of the scientists.
OK, we're going down a path. Christian, do you need a milky coffee before we ask your opinion on this?
Well, I was just about to say we appear to have wandered onto the wrong sort of herd. Actually, I think this is quite interesting because clearly there's a split in the right. 15 years ago, if you'd gone to anyone on the right of politics, you'd have thought, OK, well, Bill Gates is a multi-billionaire, a great example of free market innovation. He's clearly philanthropic because he wants to deal with the climate with the climate change. Look, I think Cravendale, which is my milk of choice, is an Arla product. It's clearly not natural because it lasts for about 4 weeks before going off. And I make that choice, right? And frankly, I
is
think
that why you was farting in the green room?
Right. So there's going to be a defamation case here as well.
Sorry.
But
I'm kidding, by the way. I'm kidding. Yes.
I think this sounds to me like free market innovation. As long as people are aware of whether they're buying milk with a certain product in it or not, if they want to buy milk in the knowledge that this is potentially, of course, as a free marketeer, I believe in people having knowledge about what they're buying and making informed decisions. And I thought Gareth, who I've worked with quite closely over the past fortnight in relation to the farming protests, was bang on about that. Look, I'd be open to buying it, and I also think it's worth mentioning that I think the EU food safety regulator said that this product was non-harmful in 2022. Britain, as we know from the debate about the American potential free trade deal, is massively, some would argue, overly regulatory in regards to its food standards. I personally don't believe that we would allow a product to be sold that was harmful to consumers.
And by the way, methane does massively contribute to global warming.
Yeah, OK. How long, Andy, have we got before the world collapses under the weight of global warming?
Well, I mean, I'm not at the extreme doomsday end of the spectrum, but we do need to address it. Of course we do. It's fact.
We need to stop cows farting. OK. And I did make clear, of course, that it's a separate company to Bill Gates, which is working in the UK. But an Arla spokesperson said the information spreading online surrounding our link to Bill Gates is completely false and claims relating to his involvement in our products is inaccurate. The health and safety of both consumers and animals is always our number one priority. Bovir has already been extensively and safely used across Europe, and at no point during the trial will there be any impact on the milk we produce, as it does not pass from the cow into the milk.